Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Monday, November 28th, 2016. Have a very important video for you. This video is to educate those who are seeking truth online, following the content that's out there. You need to be aware. A lot of the truth-related information is not here for the truth. It's here to mislead, and in some cases, even to serve a sinister agenda, such as censoring online communication and shutting down the people who really are seeking and putting out truth. This Pizzagate story is a manufactured hoax that plays on something evil that really is going on in this world. There really is pedophilia, sex trafficking, even of children. All throughout this world, there are people who are abusing children, physically, sexually. You're looking at the face of someone who worked in a group home and a teen homeless shelter, someone who's worked with a lot of abused, especially sexually abused children. So don't think that I'm someone who doesn't care about children, doesn't care about pedophilia. Far from it. What I care about is the truth and keeping people on the right path so that we can shut these tyrants down instead of fall for their traps and get destroyed along the way. Pizzagate is a trap. Everyone pushing it is either part of the agenda or someone who's been duped. And the majority are people who've been duped. We're going to talk about someone who hasn't been duped but is definitely part of the agenda, David Seaman, in a moment. In this video, we're also going to hear from the man who owns the pizza shop. Some men went to his restaurant, filmed him, interviewed him, uploaded the videos, and they were there to question and expose him, but instead, I think they found out for themselves that they had been duped. We're going to cover all of this. James Elephantis, the pizza shop owner, we're also going to cover why I think he's a willing participant in this, and it's no coincidence his shop was picked. No coincidence his shop was picked. He's a willing participant for a reason which we'll get to. Before we talk about Pizzagate, I want to talk about predictive programming for this that was put before our eyes for the last couple months. Pizza Hut has had a commercial on TV that's been airing since, I want to say, the end of September. I did this blog post on it October 19th. It had been playing weeks before I covered it, maybe even a month before. Middle of September, end of September, sometime they started playing this commercial, Pizza Hut, targeting the online truth community, making fun of 9/11 truth, making fun of NASA truth, lying about this world we're in. They made a commercial targeting those communities, attacking them, mocking them. And then right after this commercial, we get Pizzagate, which is meant to attack this same community in a different way. That's why major publications are putting out articles about online communities creating fake news, creating tyranny in real people's lives. The media is flipping the script here. The media every day creates fake news, agenda-driven news, propaganda-driven news to needlessly scare people, from false shootings to false illness, mosquitoes, Ebola, everything else. So anyway, our media, it is in the business of fake news. Right now, they're creating fake news to pull truth seekers in so that they can label them the fake news creators. This video is to wake you up, to get you to think. A lot of you online seeking truth, you come from a Fox News background. The CIA knows that. They know the demographics of who's out here just like I do. It's obvious that the majority of you come from Fox News and Rush Limbaugh, honestly. I mean, you think you're seeking truth, but it's obvious where your roots are and where you woke up from was. A lot of you woke up because the president was black. Not the best reason to wake up. So anyway, the CIA knows that. So right now they're getting you with the Pizzagate by attaching it to Hillary Clinton, who so many of you have been trained to hate by Fox News and Rush Limbaugh. And understand, I don't like Hillary Clinton at all. I've been exposing her online as the fraud politician she is for the better part of my adult life. For her covering up of 9/11 lies, I don't like Hillary Clinton at all. I see the full spectrum of the lies upon me, and I don't get partisan about it. All of you who are falling into Pizzagate, most of you don't care that the president right now really is a pervert, or the president-to-be, that is, Donald Trump, who's on the record multiple times saying how much he wants to have sex with his own daughter. When she was 13, on Howard Stern, he said he'd rather fuck his own daughter than his wife. Those aren't the exact words he used, but that's what he said. You know? And for all of you who don't know yet, he also went on the Dennis Leary sitcom in 2001. There's a scene where Donald Trump walks up to a table where Dennis Leary, he's out to dinner with an attractive woman, and Donald Trump walks up to the table, uninvited, and says, "Are you sleeping with this woman?" to Dennis Leary's character. Dennis Leary says, "What?" He says, "Are you sleeping with this woman?" And he says, "No, we just met." And then Donald Trump just goes in and lays a wet kiss on her and tells her to call him later. You know, just like the recording that came out with Billy Bush, which is all part of this big propaganda, agenda-driven narrative run by madmen that we're living out. So anyway, Pizzagate. If you've been fooled by Pizzagate, please pay attention. The truth's the hardest pill to swallow. There's a lot of truth seekers that are nowhere near the truth, and I'm trying to help get you there. You know, pedophilia, you want to put an end to that? We need to expose the gang that's running this world right now. The people who run your media, who run your government, they are the pedophiles, they are the perverts. They're the ones that are making all the girls' clothes shorter and shorter, you know? Perverts run this world, not Hillary Clinton and John Podesta out of the pizza shop. Now let's move on. The man who owns this pizza shop, he's called the 49th most powerful man in Washington, D.C. 49th most. Washington in gematria equals 49. We'll get to that. One of my readers caught something brilliant. We'll talk about it at the end. James Elephantis in gematria sums to 45. We just had the election of the 45th president. You know, Donald Trump, who was in the 2010 mattress commercial with the sheep in the background with the 11 and 9 on them, announced as the 45th president on 11-9. Donald in Jewish gematria equals 119. Berlin Wall equals 45. Mr. Wall announced as the 45th president on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. You know, the people who are all caught up in Pizzagate, they don't care that the pussy grabber who wants to fuck his own daughter is the president of the United States. They're still caught up on all the Hillary Clinton, you know, right-wing Fox News propaganda. You know, talk to these people. They only know 2 names, 3 names right now. They know George Soros, John Podesta, Hillary Clinton. These names, these people are agents, they're puppets. The people who run the show are people whose names you don't know. They have their puppets out there who deceive you. And George Soros, he's not the worst person in the world. He also funds Democracy Now!, the alt news, which is propaganda news too, but at least its message all the time is against war. So George Soros, he funds the alt media that is propaganda, but at least their stance is we're always against war, which is right. So, in other words, there's worse people in the world than George Soros. Some of you think that's the most evil man in the world. Again, it's because you come from the right-wing Rush Limbaugh part of the world where war doesn't matter, racism doesn't matter, you know, false propaganda, blaming Islam doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is hating Democrats and abortion, you know, because you care about unborn babies, but you don't care about poor, struggling people. For all them, your attitude is fuck you. I know the right wing. I've been talking to them for over 15 years. I also know the left wing, which there isn't really such a thing. I know the Democrats, which are just a bunch of spineless morons that will just go with whatever their party says. Don't think I'm partisan. Don't think I'm partisan. So anyway, here's James Alefantis. In the last video I did, I showed how 33 was coded all over this thing, the number of the Freemasons who believe in divide and conquer, order out of chaos. James Alefantis is currently 42 years old, which we'll get to. But notice, Alefantis, 33. Clinton, 33. Pizza, 33. Gate, 33. You know, Hillary Clinton, 33,000 emails. The week before Pizzagate, WikiLeaks leaked a document that Hillary Clinton was connected to the trafficking of 33 children out of Haiti, possibly for sex trafficking. That's what came just before Pizzagate. You know? We got that story. We got the Pizza Hut commercial mocking truth seekers. Then we get the targeted Pizzagate story that's obviously bogus. And you know what? Those of you who think this story is real, you're the ones who give truth seekers a bad name. You're the reason truth seekers are stereotyped, tinfoil hat, mom's basement, lunatic. You know, this is a lunatic belief to go for the Pizzagate. Based on the evidence that's out there. We'll get to the evidence that's out there because it's not shit. there's not shit for evidence, and if you have brains, it's pretty easy to figure out that the girl that everyone thinks is getting molested is a family member based on how many pictures he has of her. In fact, I don't see really any other pictures of any other kids besides the baby, which I think is also her. You know, so if there's some big sex ring, they're all molesting the same little girl. You know, most of you who are all caught up in this story, you're not thinking. You're just believing. The word believe is 33. The big G, the symbol of the Freemasons, big G in Francis Bacon gematria equals 33. G in English Sumerian gematria, also known as Satanic gematria, 42. Freemason 42. Freemasons, again, running the show. I bet you anything James is a Freemason, and I bet you he's participating in this, maybe not by choice. What this gang does, this network, is they use each other in certain stories to bring about some narrative, some agenda item. You know, this is his moment. And we're in this society where once stuff goes out of the media, once it's out of the buzz, people just forget and they're on to the next thing. Just watch all these people who are all cut up on Pizzagate. Just watch. In a month, it'll be the next thing and they won't even remember Pizzagate. Right now, they're calling it the most important thing in the world. Next month, they won't even remember. This is the way the American people are. The powers that be, the CIA, they know this. That's why they manipulate us with their same tactics again and again. So there's this article. Supposedly his last name means I love children in French. I don't even know that that's true. We're going to watch him getting interviewed on the street, and these guys bring it up. And he just says, yeah, I do love children. So I have a pizza place. You know, I like to cater to kids. There's no evidence that this guy is a pedophile. You know, and I'm not saying that he's not. You know, maybe he really is, and that's part of the reason he's getting shamed. But this story is meant to suck you in because there's nothing there. It's meant to make you look stupid, and it's going to be used as, you know, a drop in the bucket for the building up of the narrative of censoring the internet, suppressing more speech. We live in a world with free speech zones now because of 9/11. Another lie, another trap. So this is the man. We're going to watch him speak for himself. His Instagram, if you go Instagram, Reddit, James Alefantantis is going to come up. You can click on all these pictures, see what's all on there. You know, there are some things where it's like, yeah, why the fuck do you have that? But you know what? Go through any American's Instagram and what they think's funny and their sense of humor. A lot of stuff that people laugh at and think's funny to me is disgusting. You know, a lot of people, you know, it's because we live in this era of humor like South Park and Family Guy and all this stuff that's really negative. I mean, people's sense of humor has become, you know, perverted. Our entire media is so focused on perversion. I mean, almost everything in Hollywood has gay humor, men fucking each other in the ass. Things are just becoming more gay and pedophile-like and pervert-like, and they got the girls' fashion with all the little short outfits. I mean, this is what's going on. So this guy is probably, you know, like many other Americans and has the pervert sense of humor. Does that mean he actually rapes children and molests them? No, and there's no evidence. You know, create evidence. It's amazing that some of you who follow my channel commented on my last video that I must just be a shill and this must all just be deception. I mean, get a clue, people. I've given you a system to understand, and you could have used it to see right through this hoax. It's the same numbers as always. Meant to suck you in, meant to eat up your energy, divide you. They're saying Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, you know, this is coming right after the election. It's got people not focusing on who's the president, thinking about Hillary Clinton and some fantasy sex ring. In the last video, I said, you know, how many women are molesting children? And people commented, oh, women do evil things. Okay, I didn't say women don't do evil things. You know? What I said is how many women are molesting children? I used to work in a group home. I used to work with, you know, environments where lots of children had been molested, raped, abused, worse, left in sheds, horrible situations. Worked with this population, many children, hundreds of children, over several years. And none of the reports can I remember where it was like the women who were responsible for the raping and the abusing. It's almost always the same scenario. Someone in the family, sometimes even the own father. Usually, it's a single woman who invites a man over who abuses the children. You know, there might be scenarios out there where women do it too, but I mean, come on. Hillary Clinton being made out to be this big pimp of a child ring, funneling 33 children at a time from Haiti in the Pizzagate. 33,000 emails. Still waiting for WikiLeaks to leak something significant, like the lies of 9/11 and all this false flag bullshit we get every day. As I've been explaining for 3 years, WikiLeaks is your government. It's controlled opposition. It's meant to pacify you, give you a false hero, give those people who feel hopeless a sense of false hope. The powers that be are not stupid. They are trying to actively control you, abuse you, use you against yourself. All of you Pizzagaters are useful idiots. You're being used as tools. Wake up. By the way, Pizzeria and President, Gematria of 110, again, this whole story just follows the timing. I mean, can't you see it's just the way the media works? Seasonal and patterns, election, Pizza Hut mocking the truth community, Pizzagate focused on Hillary Clinton. I've noticed this about Republicans and right-wingers. They have such tunnel vision for only what they want to see. Look how they all defend Donald Trump, who wants to fuck his own daughter. I remember when Jesus said everybody should go fuck their own daughter. Don't you? Remember Donald Trump's favorite Bible verse? Mr. Christian, he said an eye for an eye. Exactly the opposite of what Jesus said. All of you think Obama's the Antichrist because he's black, but you think Donald Trump's good. Unreal. At least Obama is fake, and I can't stand Obama either. Been telling everybody what a puppet he is since the beginning. Told everybody not to vote for him. But at least he speaks as an adult, tries to be a positive role model even through his bullshit, and he says a lot of things that make me sick, like, forget about the past, water under the bridge, it's all about forward. I mean, that's such fucking bullshit. But at least he's not a pig. You know, I can't remember the moment where Obama presented himself as a pig. The way Donald Trump presents himself every fucking time. If you missed my first video, we decoded all the things about the pizzeria name. There was more than just the Hillary Clinton connection. I'll link the first video if you missed it. The FBI's on it in the story. FBI established in history on a date with 33 numerology. They're the federal police. Federal 33, Order 33, Police 33, Masonry 33, Secrecy 33. Sky tweets at 9:39, 93 propaganda. You know, we'll talk about 93 and 39 in regards to David Seaman, the Jewish Zionist spreading this bullshit, duping the Christian goy. Fake news in Gematria sums to 39, and that's also the focus. This tweet was meant to show how these people are spreading this fake news. People like Sky, a made-up tweet for this fake story. Sky, with the K and S exception, sums to 33. So here they say he's ranked number 49 as the most powerful man in Washington in GQ. Again, Washington in Gematria sums to 49. How fitting. All right, let's listen to him talking. He just did this interview. I'm going to link a call for an uprising so you can listen to all of this video. A call for an uprising in this video also asks why this man's ranked number 49. He asks why, he doesn't know why. So a call for an uprising. You know, I've reached out to you for more than a year. Why not share some Gematria knowledge? I think this guy's participating in the Pizzagate hoax, which is probably why he has so many subscribers. You know, the channels that don't get it, who, you know, appeal more to the masses who don't get it, seem to be more popular. You know, be a real truth speaker like myself, teach people the real skills so they can see through the lies, you know. Doesn't appeal, unfortunately. Not the way this does. So anyway, we're going to listen to this interview. The answer to the question he asked, why is he ranked number 49 by GQ, has everything to do with Gematria in Washington and how these Freemasons operate. In this interview, you're going to hear why I think this guy's a willing participant in achieving the agenda. These Freemasons, they want to rule over us. This agenda is about ruling over us, suppressing speech, attacking who they have identified as the enemy, the truth speakers online. And really, You know, only some of us are their real enemy. Like, I'm their real enemy. That's why they sabotaged my house, you know, after I was only a year into this. I'm doing something very detrimental to the game. Most people out here telling truth, or who think they're telling truth, they're actually just falling into all the traps and essentially, you know, supporting the gang. So all of you who believe in Pizzagate, that's you. Let's listen now. Here's what this is all about. We're going to listen for about 3 minutes, maybe a little more.
James Alefantis is the owner of Comet Ping Pong, and we very much appreciate you coming in to talk to us. I know that you've had a couple of bad weeks here.
It's been a hard 14 days or so.
You did some reporting on what was going on, right? You investigated. You went on the web yourself to see if you could find out why this was happening. Tell us what you found.
So real quick, I just want to point out what's on the screen here. This is the video maker doing this. He's putting up some of the tweets from his Twitter. He does have some really weird tweets, I'll admit, like this right here, this picture of this girl. I would care less about my beauty. I just want my pizza. You know, I don't know when he tweeted this. Was there a child beauty pageant going on and was he promoting pizza? Was it a joke like that? Did they recently have some child beauty pageant stop by there? You know, there's just so many things. It could be so many things. If you went through so many people's Twitters and Instagrams and the stuff that they put out, you might think, God, like, what kind of person is this? You can't arrive at the conclusion that this is proof that there's a child molestation ring, you know? If you had some pictures of children being molested, some naked children, different story. Here we go.
Well, it started when I was receiving many direct messages on Instagram and comments on my Instagram page, and I realized that something had come up. It turned out that there was a worldwide conspiracy theory in space.
Just so you know right now, this is James Alefantis talking, the man who owns the pizza shop with the 33 name, who's 42 years old. Listen to what he says coming up here.
Inside of Reddit and was being sent.
And again, Reddit equals 33, which I covered in the first video that really got this story out there. WikiLeaks leaking everything 33 Clinton. Reddit 33 making this story viral. Reddit's not here for the truth. WikiLeaks isn't here for the truth.
Sent out through YouTube and Facebook and other places in this sort of an insanely complicated, made-up, fictional, lie-based story. This was a coordinated political attack.
The story was that Hillary Clinton and her campaign manager, John Podesta, were running a child molestation ring out of the back of your restaurant. Is that correct? More or less?
Essentially, yes. It was sort of based in a couple of things. Both satanic rituals and human trafficking, led by Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, was the sort of basis of this insane story.
It seems remarkable to me that anybody took that seriously at all. They look and sound completely and not very skillfully made up.
Basically, the sort of reality-based community thought this was this insane sort of joke or a made-up fiction. But within many of these conspiratorial online communities, they were at least taking this seriously. What's wild, additionally, is that it seems as if it's almost like a game to them, like a video game, and the players are actually real, and the tools that are used are based in social media. So essentially, they would go into our social media accounts, and they would take photographs that were on my Instagram of my friends' children or my associates' children and post them around.
German secret society.
He has ads on his channel, so here, I'll skip in a second.
Nordic-looking being.
Of my friends' children or my associates' children and post them around thousands and thousands of fake news sites and on Reddit and on YouTube, and use these images of happily playing innocent children as proof of some kind of human trafficking scheme led by the Clintons.
Well, is there anything you can do? I mean, have you...
So, like, this is one of the images, and they're saying, see, they're saying, sure, like there's a secret. You know what the secret is? They're all in the gang. Freemasonry, the secret society. Freemasonry 58, secret society 58. There's a reason NASA, run by Freemasons, was established in 58. You know, this is saying, see, there's this, so it means this. There's no hard evidence that anything is going on at this pizza ring. And you have to understand, the powers that be, they run these perverted sex rings worldwide. They're not going to out themselves about what they're really doing. They're just going to clue you in and give you little hints about things you already know that's going on. You know, the mainstream media put out what the Vatican and the Catholic faith was up to, and asked the question, is abstinence right? Because it looks like abstinence is leading to, you know, people in the Catholic Church, men in the Catholic Church, molesting children. You know, which ties into Christianity and teaching that the body's evil and sex is evil and, you know, what's natural is evil. So anyway, it's another story, but all of this is meant to pick on a certain portion of the population, the right-wing Christian Republicans who don't have a lot of experience in life. Will watch when those people are at the restaurant interviewing him. It's as if they've never been in a restaurant before. It's like they've never been out of their house, their little small town where probably only a Walmart is. Here we go.
Have you had any sort of satisfaction from talking to the millones de Washington lawyers who must be
We have talked to a
among
few
your
lawyers. It
customers?
seems that there are not many outlets for people who have suffered this kind of attack and abuse. You're allowed to sue for defamation, but that suit takes many years and is very grueling. Additionally, these chat rooms where these people are based are protected by a law that claims that they're hosting sites, and therefore people can hide behind screen names. So it's very difficult to identify who the bullier and harasser is. In the case of Comet Ping Pong, we're a beloved neighborhood institution.
So did you listen right there what he was just saying about the difficulty in finding people online and holding them accountable? This is what the focus is on the media, that something needs to be done so that this can't happen anymore online. That means censoring, that means creating new laws to prosecute people online. You know, this is targeted, this is an agenda. You hear how he just gave the reasoning? He was saying what's wrong with the legal system right now, why there's not much that can be done about it. They're telling you what they want to fix. And that's why I think this guy's a willing participant. Sounded like he knew how to explain that part very clearly. You know, he's in the gang, so he has to get his name shamed a little bit right now. But this is what it's like. This is just like how these athletes participate in these false psy-ops, these actors. You know, this is how they get to be celebrities, wealthy. When he's talking to the guys about his pizza shop, he makes the point that nobody used to eat there 10 years ago, but then it got busy. Is that when he got in the gang? Did he get in the gang 10 years ago? I don't know. A lot of these people are born into the gang. Here we go.
And so we're very strong in a way. We have great community support. If this kind of attack were leveled at an individual or a less strong small business, it would be, I think, could be potentially devastating to some of these people.
James Alefantis, he runs a restaurant here in Washington. Thank you very much for telling us your story.
Okay, so I'll link that if you want to listen to the rest of it. But what's he talking about? I mean, I thought it was his restaurant. I thought he was an individual. Who's this network that's under attack? This is how the Freemasons operate. And they choose their agents ritualistically by the numbers. He's got the numbers. 33, he's 42 right now. His name equals 45. This is connected to the election. You know, you got Donald Trump, the 45th president-to-be, who said on the campaign trail, he wants stop and search. He wants legitimized torture. He wants to censor things. He wants to shut down networks who he doesn't agree with. He's giving you the seeds of where they're taking us. The further police state, censorship, you know. Somebody caught this on the last video, you know, somebody who actually applies the knowledge that I teach. He decoded the name of this pizza shop owner before I even got to it. He said Elephantantus 33. I guess his middle name's Achilles 33. You do the S exceptions on his name, it sums to 63. When you count 1 through 63, it sums to 2016, like the year we're in. You see? Again, this was the article written about, is this a legit conspiracy or is this propaganda? They called it Chucky Sleaze. This was Politico. Show you some things about Pizzagate. 666, number of the beast. The people who run this world, they are the synagogue of Satan, the false Jews, the Zionist Jews. In the final book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, the book of prophecy and destruction, it says the false Jews, the synagogue of Satan will rule in the end times. Talks about the number of the beast, 666. Synagogue of Satan, Comet Ping Pong Pizza, Satan Gematria. The date of the election was a date with 55 numerology. Satan equals 55. Trump and Hillary were both in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. Marilyn Manson came out with the song Say 10. If you missed that video, shows Donald Trump with his head cut off in a pool of blood. And in the blood, in the upper left corner of the screen, if you look, there's a 33 in the blood right there. It's clear as day. Say 10 in satanic gematria sums to 330. 33. That headline, Chuck E. Sleaze, it sums to 119, reminds of Chuck E. Cheese. It's a play on Chuck E. Cheese, Kids Place Pizzeria, national chain. One of my readers caught something about a 1993 pizza shooting in James Alefantis, which we'll cover in the end. This article by Politico could have been tribute to that. 93, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. Chuck E. Cheese pizza shooting from 93 with a parallel to Alefantis, which we'll get to. Again, Donald Trump announced the 45th president on November 9th, 119, anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Check out the Serta mattress commercial from 2010 with the sheep 11 and 9 in the background. He's wearing the same suit and tie as election night, talking about born to be, born for the job. So here's this guy, David Seaman, who's Jewish and probably does not have the last name David Seaman. He works for the Huffington Post, a, partisan publication. Typically they're more for the liberal side. It's interesting that he's participating in this, but it doesn't matter. They're all agents. They're all here to stir the pot. David Seaman in gematria sums to 93, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. Very special number to the Zionist Jews. The Zionist nation of Israel was built around the number 93. You might recall their former president just died at age 93. All the world leaders went over there on the day that leaves 93 days left in the year. Israel drawn up in history on September 3rd. Everything about Israel is 93. It's the number of these Zionist Jews. It's the number of propaganda 93. This guy, no doubt a Zionist Jew. He's being promoted by people such as Marty Leeds, 33, another Zionist Jew on YouTube who has 33 right in his name. Another Jew who uses a false name, Leeds, because his channel kind of leads you onto the truth, but then leads you right off the path. Marty Leeds always sponsoring the bullshit, such as Pizzagate, making it seem like this David Seaman, some honest guy. Let me tell you something about Marty Leeds, what the fucking loser he is. This summer, he wrote me this long, nasty message and said he challenged me to a debate so he could expose that I'm teaching false gematria to the world. A false cipher. And I said, well, I'll gladly take on that debate because my work's applied. You teach this form of gematria I never heard of. And perhaps it's real, but I don't know where it's applicable. You don't apply it to anything. I said, if you want to debate me, you better do your homework because I've been applying my research for 3 years and can really back it up. You know what? He never responded. Writes this nasty email challenging me to a debate. Then I tell him how it is. He probably looked into me more. Because, see, he's probably part of the shill network, too. They probably told him to go attack me, just like all these other frauds who attack me. Gary, the numbers guy with the 33 tattooed on his bicep. Probably told him to go attack me, and then he probably did his homework and said, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't debate this guy. And you know what? I'm an honest person. When I listen to Marty Leeds speak, I can tell he's an intelligent man. I just know he's not here for honest reasons. He's here to do what Jewish Zionists do. Play with the goy, their favorite hobby. Marty Leeds is a punk. So is Dabu7, another cocksucker. A lot of you follow these shills. There's a reason I didn't rep some of these channels. Dabu7's a real punk. That was someone who tried to get me in trouble. I mean, what's he trying to do? He doesn't share my work at all, but he tries to get me in trouble, tries to get me to violate the YouTube rules on purpose so that they can shut down my channel. That guy's a fucking asshole. Dabu7. Let's get back to the point. Sorry. Just reminding you, a lot of fake truthers out here. That's part of the video. So here's David Seaman. We're going to watch David Seaman's presentation. I just want to show you something about the Huffington Post, who he who he's connected with, the Huffington Post, 223, like the Synagogue of Satan, like Masonic. He's talking about how Andrew Breitbart's the man. Andrew Breitbart's just another fraud phony. Alt-right-wing crap media. It's all propaganda. Andrew Breitbart faked his death by the numbers to make his news station more popular. Remember the false conspiracy about how Obama killed him? For all the Republican Christian right-wingers who don't get it. Let's watch this guy's shit reporting. You know, Marty Leeds wants to mock my work, but then share shit like this. Let's laugh at this guy's smoking gun for the proof of Pizzagate. We're going to give him his whole minute 53. Probably made it that time on purpose. That's 113 seconds. Mainstream 113, dishonest 113. Talk about 13 in Breitbart in just a moment. Watch this.
Hey everybody, so I know that most of you do believe Pizzagate, and you do believe my claims about John Podesta being...
You do believe. Believe, Goy, I'm Jewish. Believe me, David Seaman. Believe, 33. Just like the story all over Pizzagate. Just like the story all over your Masonic Bibles that you believe in. 42-line Bibles. New Testament equals 42. 42 generations to Jesus. Sin equals 42. You're all born sinners. All you can do is wait on your knees for Jesus and say, Amen, 33. This is what the Jewish people love to do. Mock the Goy. Goy has the same gematria as Christian. No coincidence. Remember the Goy spectacle on July 4th? With the probe landing on Jupiter, Jewish 74, Masonic 74, Occult 74, Holiday 74, Independence Day 74. This nation found by Jewish Masonic banker tyrants, run by them ever since. 4th of July, 7-4, Independence Day. It's not hard to see. David Seaman.
A sadistic pedophile and trafficker of young children, I realized...
Oh, and by the way, Marty Leeds, who reps this guy and teaches the, method of gematria that's not really relevant. If he used the alphabetic order, the one that is relevant, that he wanted to call me out a fraud for, he would see that his Jewish buddy here is Mr. 93, the same number as propaganda. Marty Leeds, 33. I don't know why you guys even have to ask me if that's a shill.
That many of you believe that, and I'm grateful for the support.
How many fucking times does this guy use the word believe? From now on, anytime somebody asks you to believe them, make sure you don't. Sometimes that slips out of our mouth because it's programmed. Sometimes I even say it, but then I always correct myself. I say, oh, no. Don't believe me. Think, question, research, but I'm here to tell you the truth. Sometimes I actually say believe me, but I always correct. Believe is a bad word. It's a 33 word. It's a word that'll have you falling for traps. Believe or else. That's what you're told as a child. It's all fear-based religion, just like your news. TV equals 42, like Freemason, like New Testament, like 42-line Bibles. Fear, fear, fear.
And trust that I've built up with many of you over the years.
I mean, just when this guy speaks, the trust I built up with you over many of the years. Believe. David Seaman. His name's probably David Juberg. Here we go.
However, I realize that a few of you were saying to me, these are big claims, David. You're saying that a former White House chief of staff and that Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, is a sadistic pedophile. Really? Well, researchers have found...
This guy has videos pimping Trump, so he doesn't care that Trump wants to fuck his daughter. To him, that's not pedophilia-like or perverted-like. That's not even sick. In fact, it's cool. He supports him. But Pizzagate, they got the tunnels, going from the White House to Pizzagate.
Found the smoking gun that those of you few doubting Thomases were hoping to find. It has been identified. So researchers went through some of Andrew Breitbart's very old tweets. It's kind of difficult to go through tweets that are more than several years old, but they did locate a tweet from February 4th, 2011, and this has been verified as actually Andrew Breitbart's account. There you go. You can see that it is his verified account.
February 4th, huh? February, the only month with 42 gematria. In most parts of the world, that day's written 4/2. 4/2. Freemason. How old is David Elephantis? All this stuff's planned so long in advance. We're living out a script, a planned agenda by the numbers. Nice 121 tweet time. Revelation equals 121. Anyway, just watch how fucking weak. This is his smoking gun that there's a sex ring being run out of the pizza place. A tweet from Andrew Breitbart, who's a shill operative. If anything, this just shows that Breitbart knew about it. You know, all you right-wingers who follow all these frauds from the right wing, from Breitbart to Alex Jones. Alex Jones equals 42, born on the 42nd day of the year. InfoWars 42, Freemason 42, World War 42, War 42. Supposedly Alex Jones is 42 years old right now. He'll turn 43 on the 42nd day of the year next year. Yeah, right. But anyway, just watch how fucking shit this evidence is. I've made almost 2,000 videos. Never in my life have I presented anything so fucking weak. What I want to know is why shit like this is going viral and my work is not getting recognition. Yesterday, this guy had 89,000 subscribers in the evening time when I looked. It's less than 24 hours later. He's up to 96,000 subscribers. He grew a major percentage of what I have for a full channel off shit like this. This is fucking garbage. This is what's wrong with our society. It worships mediocrity. It is attracted to mediocrity. I'm trying to raise consciousness, awareness, elevate your mind. This stuff is for suckers. You know, if you were a fish, what you did with this Pizzagate story is you bit the worm, and now you're fish bait. You know, you got to be smarter in this world.
And as of right now, it is still viewable on Twitter. And he tweeted on February 4th, 2011, how progressive guru John Podesta isn't household name as world-class underage sex slave op cover-upper defending unspeakable dregs.
So you know what? Maybe John Podesta is a pervert. Maybe so is Andrew Breitbart. Because you know what? A lot of people in Washington, D.C. are perverts and psychopaths. That's why they rule over us the way they do with the lies, the tyranny, the deceit. That's why it's about exposing the whole thing and not falling for some stupid, obviously bullshit, politically driven narrative meant to suck you in, like Pizzagate. You know, there's a reason some rats live longer than others. Some rats really are smarter than other people. That's why they know not to go in the traps. You know, that's why some people, they can't get rid of certain rats. They're smarter. Rats are animals. We're animals. The dumb animals within us are the ones who are falling for things like Pizzagate. I mean, this is so obviously bogus, in your face, you should have never fallen for it. And I'm embarrassed for all of you who have, and I'm here to help you. I'm not going to shame you. I'm not going to say anything about it. But all of you who came and attacked, who follow this channel, who trolled my last video, you know, realize right now you've become part of the enemy. You're being used in the enemy's machine for their agenda.
Escapes me. I'll let you be the judge. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a smoking gun, and this case is closed.
Fuck you. What a loser. And fuck Marty Leeds too. You know? This guy right here, David Seaman, you guys should all get on his Twitter and tell him to go fuck himself with his false story and his false bullshit name. Let's hear what his real Jewish Zionist name is. So here's Andrew Breitbart, who is nothing but a media plant with his, you know, shill media organization. Supposedly he died March 1st, 2012. Conspiracy that he was killed by Obama. Notice that was the 61st day of 2012. News equals 61. We just saw that woman for PBS drop dead out of nowhere at age 61, the news anchor. 61's a special number. God in Jewish gematria equals 61, and it is the news that plays God over most people's lives. And for most of you, you know, I don't care what you say you worship or what religion you belong to, even you Christians, the TV, the media is really your God. You know, they dictate the way you think, they steer you. Rush Limbaugh, that's one of your gods for most of you Christian right-wingers. You know, Michael Savage, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, Fox News, those are your gods. Because most people who are Christian in this nation, those are the things they're talking about. They're talking about what Fox News said and not what Jesus said. How evil the Clintons are. Remember when Jesus spoke about the Clintons? Most of you still don't get it. Bill and Hillary are just two puppets. They're not even the Clintons. Neither of them have Clinton blood in them. The Clintons are founders of this country. Bill was born Bill Blythe. Hillary got the name marrying him because his biological mother remarried into the Clinton family after his biological father died. But anyway, 61, Breitbart dead on the 61st day of the year, which blew up their news station more popular. You know, death, sales, the way this world works, the way we've been conditioned. Breitbart News has that gematria of 156, the number connecting back to 33. Remember, 911's the 156th prime, 911, 911, 33, 156 coded all over it. Also, just the name Breitbart equals 41, like USA. 41's the 13th prime, 13 colonies, 13 stripes. He died on March 1st, a date that's written 1/3 in most parts of the world, like 13. So here's your smoking gun from David Seaman, just another media agent. And this is probably a long-planned story, you know? A psy-op plan to go after this election of putting in the pussy grabber. So now here, we're going to watch a little more. We're going to watch this work. I'm going to link their channel since I'm using their video. They went here to shame this man, James Alefantis, and I'm not here to defend him, but I am here to say that, you know, he's participating in the gang, doing his part in the agenda. Let's watch this interview. We're just going to watch part because the volume's low. I'll link the video so you can watch it louder on your own computer, but I think you're going to be able to hear enough. Good news is I got a speaker coming tomorrow, so I'll be able to turn up the volume from now on for all future videos. So there'll be no more of this quiet stuff. Here we go.
A few weeks ago when it was attacked. It seems a little absurd to be here. That image is a cute image of my goddaughter.
So if you can't hear, they're talking about the images on his Instagram, and they're about to go to it. I'm going to pause it so you can see the image. He's saying the image is his goddaughter. That's why he has so many images of her. We're going to talk about this image. It is kind of a bizarre image, but again, it's not proof of what anyone's saying with Pizzagate. Watch.
They're playing around as two kids.
I came all the way from Philadelphia to be here, man. I didn't know. I came all the way from Philadelphia to be here.
Do you have any other images that you think are offensive?
You hear this guy saying he came all the way from Philadelphia to be there? You know, we need truth seekers. We need people who are willing to go out and expose truth, but when you're getting duped into something that works against you, you need to figure out how to use your energy more effectively. Why isn't my gematria work inspiring people like this? You know, I know it's inspiring some of you, but why so few people? I mean, do people not see the worth of what I'm putting out? It's so amazing to me. They'll go for something like this that just leads to nowhere. Where are you going to do once you bust up Pizzagate? What, you think you've ended pedophilia rings in the world once you got John Podesta and Hillary Clinton? Come on, people. Think.
David Brown.
We have hundreds of children here all the time.
I know.
I love children. I love you. We love our community.
That's fine.
We're all friends.
And
we work
I
together.
would be caught
I
dead
make
with
pizza.
this on my Instagram if I worked at a school.
Really?
I would.
In a minute, it'll go to this picture. It's going to be the picture of the girl on like a red carpet looking thing with white tape, you know, the masking tape that you get over her wrists, and she's smiling. You can tell she's happy. She doesn't look like she's distressed. Looks like she's just having fun, kind of a silly picture. I don't know why they did it that way, but these are the things that are leading people to think Pizzagate's real. In reality, they probably did it all just this way to set the trap, you know, give you some loose clues and then have some people hype some untrue narrative, such as David Seaman with his smoking guns.
Would be caught dead with pictures of toddlers chewing on.
Let's go back just a second. Did you see it? So this is the picture. It's blurry here. This is a little girl's head. These are her arms coming down here. If you can search for this stuff, it's easy to find. Her arms are all scotch taped to this red-looking floor. So this guy came out there with this picture and said, "What's this all about? I'm here to expose Pizzagate." And this is the thing. I mean, this is like his strongest evidence. For the other guy, David Seaman, his smoking gun is a Andrew Breitbart tweet about John Podesta. You know, that's his smoking gun for what's going on at this pizza place? That is such a weak piece of evidence. That's not evidence.
Toddlers chewing on stacks of money. I wouldn't be caught dead with half of those images on my Instagram.
There's nothing wrong. Have you been on Instagram? There are much more offensive things. There's nothing offensive about mine.
Unfortunately,
Just in case you didn't hear the last question, he said, how come there's a Instagram picture with a toddler chewing on a stack of money. And he just like shrugged his head and, you know, he said, like, that's not offensive. Again, I think it's weird too, a toddler chewing on stacks of money, but people, again, I said this earlier, people do all sorts of crazy shit. Our values are weird in this world. People are behaving, you know, in nonsensical ways all over the place. People worship money. I don't know, a baby chewing on money? I think he's going to explain what it's about in this video as we go on.
There's nothing offensive about my Instagram. If you don't see the offensiveness in that, then it's cool.
I don't see an offense.
That's
I
cool.
think that's kids playing together. I think it's very sick and strange.
Oh, I know.
People.
Did you hear the guy from Philadelphia lecturing him on how he should see the offense on the baby chewing on the money? Well, really, you should see the offense in accusing somebody of being connected to a sex child ring based on all this loose bullshit.
Oh yeah, we always tape children. Yeah.
Pizza is a code word.
We always
Pizza is a code word.
Maybe if
Pizza
your friends
at
would
the
talk
pizzeria
about
is a code word. Is that what you're thinking?
Cheese, hot
You wanna
dogs.
ask me about
Cheese,
that?
hot dogs. Yeah, absolutely.
Cheese.
Yeah.
This is a pizza place.
Oh, I know it is.
Anyway, listen, I respect your idea to protest. Please stay all day. If you'd like some coffee, if you'd like some pie, we can be happy to serve you. Stay out here. Have a nice day. And if you have any questions, any other questions for me?
I mean, honestly, some people are real frauds in this world and they can cover up a lie well. I mean, is he one of those people? Possibly. But I mean, honestly, he comes across pretty normal, like mocking him, like, really, cheese man? I run a pizza shop. What the fuck do you think we're eating here? And you can tell he's gay. He's a gay dude. I mean, he acts like a gay dude. He doesn't seem so demonic like a lot of you are asserting. You know, some people can be deceptive, but again, you guys are all caught up in stuff that's not here. So let's continue on with this. Let's see it all.
Let us know.
I appreciate that you
Thank
answered
you.
your question.
You're always invited inside.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
About that image?
I want to know why there's a child in bondage on the.
That's a stolen image from my Instagram. That's my.
Why'd you do it?
That's my goddaughter. She's playing with her sister. There's a cute picture of them playing together.
Taped it.
And
So again, they're saying, now what's this image? And he's saying, that's my goddaughter. I noticed when I went through the images that the majority of the pictures were the same little girl. She looked like she was maybe 2 years old. The evidence that's out there suggested it was a family person. So I'm not surprised he's saying it's his goddaughter. That's just what I assumed. I said, wow, almost all the pictures are the same girl. Must be someone related to him.
Taped it big.
That was published, put on there 126 weeks ago.
why is there a picture of a toddler chewing on stacks of $1,000 bills? Not $1,000 bills, stacks of euros in the amount of 1,000, and she's chewing on them. Why?
They were near her face. It was a joke about me going to Europe and bringing euros. Remember the Jay-Z reference?
I don't know that name.
A lot of jokes, man.
So anyway, they go in the pizza shop. He shows them around inside the restaurant. He invites them in. He gets them to come in. They document the walls. They say, hey, I saw this art online that I don't see on your walls now. He said, yeah, there used to be controversial art here. A lot of people didn't like it. It's been down for 5 years. And again, you know, people, come out to a city like Seattle. Seattle, there's a lot of restaurants that look just like this. You go in places, there's local art, like some bizarre stuff. There's all sorts of places that look just like this. And if you wanted to just target it and say, oh, look at these demonic pictures, I mean, you could make tons of restaurants in Seattle, Portland, the cities I'm from, look like the same type of thing. So anyway, they go through the restaurant. They don't see anything suspicious. He brings up the point about how they don't have the same artwork, like I just mentioned. And he tells them to come back for some pizza pie. What else is he going to do? He's a pizza restaurant owner. He explains that he's not the smartest guy. He doesn't have a lot of skills. That's why he runs a pizza shop. It's the one thing he could do. He talks about how his business got popular 10 years ago. I wonder what made it popular all of a sudden. He didn't elaborate on that. But anyway, I'll link this so you can watch it all. Turn up the volume. I didn't want to play it all because I imagine some of you can't even hear it. So look, here's something else. One of my readers, they noticed that in 1993 there was a shooting at a Chuck E. Cheese, and it just gave them deja vu with the Chuck E. Sleaze headlines. And he was doing some research on this man who owns the pizza shop, who we just saw defending himself. And I guess his former partner was named Robert Brock, which is interesting because he used to date, or he dates a guy named David Brock now, popular author, former writer in the Washington Post and other mainstream publications. So, and again, I haven't fact-checked this, but this person who wrote this, what they share is normally credible. They do good research, so I find this interesting. He used to be with another man back then, Robert Brock. He's now with David Brock. And anyway, there was, I guess, a lawsuit going on then between this man and the man who founded Atari, and it had to do with video games. Anyway, this shooting that happened in the media at the time in Aurora, Colorado, which recently had the theater shooting, the shooting was blamed on a shooter who was inspired by a horror video game. And then they were in this lawsuit at the time having to do with Atari and video games. Something to this effect. So, you know, there's something weird going on here. I wanted to look at the date of the shooting, this Chuck E. Cheese shooting in Aurora. Again, we just had the Aurora Theater, Colorado shooting by the numbers. It's like how Columbine's been used for multiple psyops. Anyway, the date of this shooting, December 13th, 1993, it's a date with 137 numerology. 137 is the 33rd prime. Authority 137. Washington, D.C. 137. Of course, this pizza shop, Pizzagate, Comet, is located in Washington, D.C. The thing is, I can't connect this for sure and say, okay, this is a direct connect, this is something that's going on, because so often these shootings and false flags are coded with the numbers of 33 in the federal government because this is an ongoing federal agenda. What is interesting, however, is that this happened in 93, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time, and the sum of the magic square of Saturn is 45. This comes after the election of the 45th president, the man James Alefantis, named gematria of 45. So something might be going on here. This might be part of the riddle, how it's all structured out, how this guy is part of the gang. Then again, this is 23 years ago. James Alefantis was only 19 years old then. So I would do some more research on this. There might be something here, or this might just be, this could be coincidental. You know, sometimes things can be coincidental. Aurora, Colorado, I guarantee you this was a false flag at Chuck E. Cheese. By the way, Chuck E. Cheese equals 96 like Freemason, 51 like conspiracy, like mass shooting. The shooter, Nathan Dunlap, his name was 45. You know, that's strange. In that interview he just did with the men, he said the picture was from 126 weeks ago, which stood out to me. I thought, okay, maybe that's coincidence, but 126, it's one of these numbers of significance. Interesting. Be something to find out that those guys who were there videotaping that were all part of the show too. I don't know. But anyway, the shooter then was 45, just like his name, James Alefantis. Here's another thing I saw on YouTube that supposedly there's a Pizzagate card in the Illuminati card deck. If you go and look at the Illuminati card deck from 1996, this card's not in it. I don't think this is part of it. I don't own it myself, but if you look at all the cards in the deck, this is not on there. There's people who are making videos saying that this is proof that Pizzagate's real and it was planned in the Illuminati card game. Meanwhile, it's not even, I don't think, a real Illuminati card. It was made with the internet. You know, we live in this day and age with the Photoshop. That signature down there might be a giveaway of the hoax. Or it might have even been created to, you know, stir up more buzz about this. You know, they're playing on things that they know people are aware of. There's legitimacy to the Illuminati card game, so, you know, why not use that to stir up people? I'll link all these videos down in the description. Pizzagate is a definite hoax. Do not be duped. If you're being duped and you're passionate about this, you know, that's where I want to close. Look, if you're so passionate about this, like I had all these people write that, Zach, how can you call this a hoax? Protecting children's the most important thing. Again, getting worked up about Deflategate, another hoax. Getting worked up about Pizzagate, you're not protecting any children. You're just falling for a trap. You're going to end up actually hurting more children because you're going to hurt our chances of using online appropriately to shut down the liars. You know, we need to use the internet to stop the agenda, not get sucked into their traps on the internet. All this 33 is not a coincidence, truth seeker. It's the number of the psy-op. They're after your mind. Government means mind control. You know, they put out different propaganda for different groups. They know how to get people. This was the worm for the fish community. Or the truth community. Which in a way is the fish community because most of them are Christian. You know? Picking on the Christians. All right, until next time. Actually, one last thing. If you have not donated to the Truth Seeker Network Revolution, if you have not bought any merchandise for the campaign for All for Truth, this network, this application, it's going to create the community so that all of us can work together, so that we can have a forum to discuss things, so that we can work as a group to find out the truth together. If we were working as a community, we would have figured out that Pizzagate was a hoax and we wouldn't have fallen for it, instead of making it viral and falling for the trap. You know? Please support the cause. The mission is down below. The gear is sharp. You're going to want to be a part of this. Think about how cool it's going to be to say you're one of the first people who was part of All for Truth. All for Truth's going places. I'm going to be persistent. I'm going to make sure, you know, everybody who cares about the truth making this world better becomes a part of it. Until next time, Truth Seeker.